All right, so we're up and rolling on the recording. I should be. Let me just make sure. Yes. Okay, so we are recording, guys. I know a lot of you couldn't get on live. It's right about 2 minutes after 7, so we want to go ahead and get started. Only going to take about 20 minutes tonight. I just wanted to make sure that we hit a subject, and I asked my son Mike to tag team with me, and he's going to chat about a topic today called basically daily method or daily mode of operation for growing your business. And it's something that's really important and he does a really good job at. So I'm going to just do a couple housekeeping things and I'm going to turn it over to Mike for about 10 minutes and then we'll wrap up this recording. I'll make sure I send all the teammates. A couple things as always, guys. I always talk about real quick the events coming up. So critically important. You guys all remember we talked last week about uh, Big Blue Calendar. You can find all the events, www.bigbluecalendar.com. You can find events all over the United States and abroad, where the next LV Academy will be in your area. If there's not one in your area, which I highly recommend, if you can go to a live one, go to a live one. If not, you could do the online one. You just pay $25 like we all do, and you can listen to it. You'll get a link to listen to it live on Saturday, and then you have till I think midnight that Sunday night to listen to the recording, and that goes away forever. So I highly recommend if you got something close, though, definitely make the trip. If you're within a couple-hour drive, I would do it. So that's LVA, and September 21st are so important. EA Long Beach is just around the corner, guys. October 3 through 5. That's EA Long Beach. It's going to be incredible, as they all are. And we're really looking forward to that. Make sure you got your flights and your tickets. Again, if you have free tickets from a gold or platinum pack, they're good for a year and then they go away. But you definitely want to reserve your spot. You have to go ahead and register, and then there'll be a $0 cost on it. Then you got EA Cancun coming up February 6th through 10th. That's going to be incredible. And then after that, you got the Pro 5 Summit, which you guys are all aware. That's the next one is in March. And that should pretty much do it. Again, I want to repeat every time because a lot of people forget or maybe they don't know. Distributor support is there for all of us. You can call or text distributor support with any questions or any help. If you want to change your subscription or you're struggling trying to sign up a customer. Signing up a customer, I'd probably recommend going to your upline, sideline, whatever first, and they'll help you, will help you. It's just sometimes customer service distributor support takes a little bit of time to get them on the phone. And if you're ready to sign somebody up, just reach out to one of us and we can help you and teach you how to do it, okay? But if you do need to call them for any reason, it's 866-460-7241. Okay, so that's just a couple of the housekeeping items, guys. There was a recent post I saw today from LifeVantage that you should have all gotten. Sharice Matthews, who's a Pro 8, she dives into reaching goals of Pro 3. So I highly recommend going ahead and listen to that. Some pretty great information that you'd enjoy. Email just went out, I think, this afternoon from corporate. So with that, again, as you guys know, my son Mike, he's a Pro 5 in the business, does extremely well. He's extremely well spoken. He's been a great leader for our whole team. He actually is involved with the LifeVantage Academy in Cleveland. When Ann and I did it for 2 years, and we turned it over to Mike, and he is working with one of the Amish leaders, and they do it together, which is kind of nice. You know, some of the Amish leaders weren't real comfortable doing it by themselves, so Mike stepped up, and he's going to go ahead and he's helped them for the last year. So he does an excellent job with that. We really enjoy having him around. So with that, I'm going to let Mike kind of take off and talk about a little bit of a topic for you guys that I think will help, and then we'll go ahead and sign off. So with that, Mike, go ahead and take off.
Thanks. Can you hear me okay?
I sure can. Perfect.
All right. Good deal. So good evening, everybody. I just want to take a quick 10 minutes to cover the topic. I don't want to take too long. And like my dad said, I'm touching on daily method of operations. And what I want to do with this topic, what I want to talk about mostly is more of the principle behind the daily operations. You do have your ABC type a type of lineup, I guess you would call it, with what you want to do day to day. But really with that, I'll be blunt, those are found in your blueprint. So if you're really wondering what you should be doing on a day-to-day basis, you need to open up your blueprint that we all got when we signed up and read the wheel for success on what you need to be doing every day in order to succeed in the business. And with that being said, there's a big difference between the money making activities in those core actions versus non-money making activities. So be wary when you are going through your daily method of operations, where you're going through that wheel. You are taking more time for the money making activities, and those are plain and simple: inviting prospects, telling the story to those prospects, and closing on those prospects, making them either a customer or a distributor. Those are the only three actions that are going to put a dollar back in your pocket. Okay. Now there are other actions that you need to take day to day that are going to they are critical for your success. Things like creating your why, getting your why in order, and writing that down on a piece of paper, and databasing, having a good solid database, going to the events, getting on calls like these, promoting events. Those are obviously important factors, but the three that you want to focus on are inviting, telling the story, and closing. Okay. Now, with that being said, what I really want to dive into with the remaining 8 minutes that I have is really the principle behind the daily method of operations. And I'm going to start that with a quote from Eric Worre when he tells everybody, and he says, "Your only boss in network marketing is your calendar, period." And I love that. I've been a huge proponent of basically, for lack of better words, shoving down people's throats. They need a daily planner, and that is a paper planner, not your phone. If you want to use your phone as a tool to hold yourself to appointments or set alarms on your phone for, okay, it's 5 o'clock, I have a call at 5:30. I do that. That's a great tool to have. But what I'm really talking about with your planner, and this is mine, I actually wrote my notes for this call in here. What you need to do with this planner is write down your daily method of operations, your hourly, your work day, right? Your 9 to 5 per se in this business. And the way that you do that is for each day, you're writing down, okay, at 9 a.m., I'm going to be databasing. Okay, maybe I'm a union laborer. I don't know. I'm comparing that to construction world because that's where I come from. Maybe I'm in the union and I have a 15-minute breakfast break. I can go and I can work on my database during that break. Okay, at lunchtime, maybe I step outside for lunch and I can make a couple calls, invites. That's from 12 to 12:30. Okay. And then once I get off work at 3:30, 4 o'clock, that's when I go and I do my meetings. Okay. The point is, to me giving this example, the point is that you need to be specific and you need to lay out each day in your planner. Okay. And the reason for that is because that holds you accountable. It is a plan for action. I'm sure you wouldn't look at somebody like Brandon Cunningham or Gabe and Jill Pearson, or one of the Pro 10s or Pro 9s or Pro 8s, Pro 7s. I'm sure you would not look at them and ask them if they did not have a clear-cut plan every day as to how they were going to make it to the rank that they are currently at. Okay. To me, if I open up your planner and I see nothing in it, that tells me that you're winging it. You're winging the business. And to me, that's just not a smart way of going about this business. I could probably guess about how big your check size is if you are quote unquote winging the business. So please do me a favor, do yourself a favor, go out, buy a paper calendar, and be concise, be methodical when it comes to this business. This is a business at the end of the day. So when you are talking about your daily actions, okay, what I don't want to hear and what I don't want to learn about your daily actions is that you go, oh, well, I'm planning on Monday, I'm planning on working on my database a little bit. I don't want to know that. I want to know that you have a free window from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. where you're going to be working on your database. that's how it should be, because otherwise you're just not going to hold yourself accountable. And if you don't hold yourself accountable, you're not going to take the actions that are necessary to succeed in the business. Okay. With that, the other thing that it does is it creates consistency, and that's kind of a segue into that, because that's what I've already been talking about, is consistency. But it's been said over and over and over again that success loves speed. Okay, and in order to be successful, you need to work with speed. And the first step to being, speedy, I guess you would say, is being consistent. Okay, and again, how are you consistent? It's by holding yourself accountable to a daily method of operation. Okay, this is what I've done now for, God, I can't remember I didn't do it to begin with. I think I started in 2015 or 14, where I started buying a paper calendar and writing down what I was doing every day and planning out what I was doing every day. And it seriously, it changed my business from a side income or a hobby or a gig to something where I was treating it seriously as a business and as a career path. Okay, it's a totally different spectrum when you talk about somebody that's planning out their daily method of operations versus quote unquote winging it. Okay, so with that, I think that's really all I wanted to touch on. I'll look through my notes here. But that's really what I wanted to get my point across as. You look at the cut and dry answers to daily method of operation. You have your money making versus non-money making activities. Inviting, storytelling, closing are the only things that are going to put $1 back in your pocket. Things like, I got my cat up here now on my chair. Things like writing down your why and databasing, going to the events and trainings. Those are non-money making activities. They are things that you need to include in your daily method of operations, but you need to be sure that you are capitalizing on the 3 money-making activities. And the best way to do that, in my opinion, is laying out your day every single week in a planner. Okay. With that, that's all I really had, unless there's anything else that you wanted me to touch on.
No, that's excellent. That's exactly what what we were looking for. I mean, that is absolutely true. I mean, hopefully people are jotting some things down on the playback. I highly suggest you jot some of these notes down. I mean, Michael breaks it down pretty simply. He's 100% right. You know, we all want to make $1 in this business, but what are we actually doing to make $1? Are we doing the money making activities, or are we just talking about it and we're doing the non-money making activities? Are we hanging around on Facebook for hours in a day and we're saying that we're going to reach out to people, but then we're going down that path of spending hours on Facebook instead of just very simply inviting, telling the story, and closing? And that's exactly 100% spot on. So I want to repeat that again, what Michael said, the money-making activities. And Eric Worre, if you guys aren't involved with Eric Worre is probably the best network marketing trainer in the world. He's incredible. He has a lot of great information out there. He does events as well. He's a good friend to LifeVantage. He's been to many of our larger events, and he's been a host speaker at many of them. I love the daily method of operation as far as the planner. I do the same thing. I tell people all the time, you got to have a paper calendar, because the phone seems great, but I tell you, when you got a paper calendar, when you write stuff down, you remember it. So he's exactly right. We have actually the same planner, because when mine ran out last year, I liked his and he ordered it for me. So I like that a lot. So with that, guys, it's the beginning of the month. I mean, today is what, the 4th or the 5th or something like that. I think it's the 4th. This is really the best time to get after it and start building your business. You know, get after it and say, because a lot of times the last week of the month, you know, there's a couple days left and you haven't really achieved a lot, and you're saying, well, I'll just wait till the next month, which is really the wrong thing to do, but many of us do that. Use that first week of the month right now to really go after it. Like Mike said, you know, this business loves speed. Use this first week as your catapult to start doing something and reaching out to somebody every day and jotting it in that calendar and that daily reminder of the operation of your business. Treat it like a business. If you're not following what Mike's talking about, you are kind of winging it. And it's hard to say that, but for for a lot of us, not me, I'm not winging it. Trust me, I love this business and I'll do it for the rest of my life. But a lot of people will repeat how busy they are. And if you start to think about that, it's just a lot of excuses, quite frankly. I said last week, we all have the same 24 hours in a day. I can guarantee you every one of us can carve out 15 minutes a day to make a phone call. Maybe you're on your way to work. So in your daily planner, you jot down, the night before, write down what you're going to do the next day. That's what I do. And then on your way to work, I'm going to call Sue, or whatever. Okay. Or I'm going to follow up with Frank that I talked to the other day. Just start to plan that out, guys, and you will see success. And it becomes easier the longer you do it. Okay. So with that, I think we're going to go ahead and sign off. We got George live with us. George, did you have any questions at all, or are you good for now? You're good? Thumbs up. Awesome. Well, again, guys, I appreciate everything you guys do. Mike, awesome job as always, and I appreciate you jumping on and helping us out. It's always good to hear from another successful voice. So with that, guys, I'm going to end the call, and you guys have a great night, and we'll be back on Tuesdays next week because that's what a lot of people have gotten used to. We will talk to you soon.